We're visiting with Tommy Novak today. And Tommy, it's so funny because I want to say Milwaukee Admirals forward Tommy Novak. And obviously that's not the case this season. How are
Yeah.
you? How are things in Chicago?
I'm good. Things are going well here. We just got 3 games in so far. A lot of bodies here. It's a lot of new faces, but I mean, we're kind of coming together, I think, as and kind of making the most of it. Really. Obviously, it's a struggle year, so we're just trying to play hockey, and we're glad we're doing it. So
That's
it's been
just
good.
it. That's a healthy attitude, I think. I mean, we look and see at the NHL level, games are canceled, and now all of a sudden, Arizona and St. Louis are playing 7 games in a row against each other. The other day, last week, you guys find out, I think, on a Thursday. Opening night is Friday, but you find out on a Thursday, I think, that you're going to play on Saturday now against Rockford. So, I mean, it's if you don't learn flexibility from this year, you're never going to learn it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that was a first for me to get a new game scheduled so soon in the future. So it was definitely interesting. I wasn't too mad about it because I think we only had about like one or two on the schedule for about the first 2 weeks. So it was nice to get a couple more in right away.
What is it like to prepare for games? And you said you're with another NHL uh, group of prospects, a group of prospects from another NHL team, the Carolina Hurricanes. So preparing for a game and then the unknown, right? This illness is, as we said, you found out you're going to pick up another game. I think there's been another game picked up. That may have been yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
So what has it been like for practice? What has it been like for time away from the rink, or are you always at the rink because there's nowhere else to go?
I think like when it comes to like at the rink, it's pretty much just hockey, like business as usual for us.
Normal day.
It's Yeah, normal day. We do tests in the morning, so we have to get there a bit earlier for like the testing, but that's mostly the only big difference. Just day to day at the rink, but yeah, outside of the rink, we mostly just hang out at home because there's really not nothing we can really do. It's just good, and it's not really a terrible thing. I just hang out with the guys, do some show watching or whatever. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, not too much going outside the rink
Do
really.
they want to kick you out of the rink as soon as possible, or do they want to keep you there as long as possible?
I
Since
haven't
it's
really.
basically a safe spot, right?
Yeah. I don't think either one really. I think it's just um, pretty much the rink and home for most guys.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much stay as long as you want, but no one's wanting you to stay longer than normal. It's just pretty much just hockey as usual.
Especially the equipment guys. They probably want you out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's probably right. That's for sure. Actually, yeah.
3 games so far. Two other teams have played 3 games this year, so you guys have played the most games so far. What have games been like? We talk so much about chemistry and blah blah blah, and you guys didn't have a heck of a lot of practice time with the Carolina organization leading into this. So what has it been like?
Um, I think it's just we kind of just got to figure it out as we go a bit. I think
But it's been going well.
it's been going well. I mean, we have a ton of skill up and down our lineup, and our decor is great, and our goalies have been playing well. So I mean, for me, it's basically there's a bunch of guys that are not playing and playing, but it's going to be, I think, shuffled around a lot, and just got to adapt to this year and just play hockey to your strengths and play to your best of your ability, and not really look at all that stuff all that much.
Yeah, I mean, to the competition, and granted, the on ice competition is one thing against another team, but the on ice competition within the team itself probably as great as it's ever been.
Well, yeah, I've never seen, I mean, obviously I'm not a seasoned veteran or anything, but I've never seen this many like just outstanding players just on one team together. So a lot of guys sitting out. I think we have 20 forwards here, or
Wow.
something or 19 forwards here. So there's a lot of guys that are really good hockey players we'll have to be shuffled in or whatever they decide to do with that.
So when you guys are playing in games, and how much systems work? I keep going back to this because of the conflicting Milwaukee, Chicago, Nashville, Carolina prospects thing. But I guess maybe I should just cut it all off and say, or ask if it's basically like you're on a team, like it's no big deal. It's business as usual for the most
Yeah,
part when it comes to teaching and teammates and so on.
for sure. Yeah, just like we're on a normal team. We're trying to win hockey games, I guess, is the main goal, number one. Whenever you play a hockey season, so that's it. We definitely do a lot of preparation. There's some different style of systems than we had in Milwaukee or what they do in Nashville. So there's just little tweaks and adaptations for us players, and obviously as a hockey player, it could happen at any time. You could switch organizations,
Sure.
teams.
I was going to say that's not a bad thing. We talk about
Right.
that. Not a bad thing to have
Right.
more in your arsenal.
Right. So yeah, there's just a couple tweaks that we had to learn, and I think we're getting better.
So obviously this whole situation is different. How do the games feel with no fans?
Honestly, the no fans isn't as big of a difference as playing in like a stadium size or a stadium rink, and then versus like the rink that we're playing at now. It just feels a lot different, and that's probably the biggest thing. But the no fans thing, like it's definitely different, but it doesn't really affect me all that much. I don't know how other players feel about it, but I don't notice it all that much.
I'm curious. But the size of the rink, you say, is more a factor. Just seeing the vastness of a building that you're not used to. Can you get the same? How do you build up the same juice for these games that you have in the past?
I think it's just try to find whatever motivation you can find. I think for most guys, it's just trying to be the best player they can be every day is the motivation. So that's all you can really do. I guess there's not a whole lot of motivation if you're looking for it in the crowd or anything. So
right. Nobody's holding up a sign for you or anything.
So it's definitely on us to get ourselves going for sure.
But again, it's the spirit of competition, right? I mean, everybody out there wants to be the best player that's out there.
Right. There's no lack of competition or battle out there because of no fans. That's for sure.
When you get to traveling, what is that going to be like? I guess I'm not sure. Is it going to be a lot of day of kind of traveling?
I believe so. I believe we mostly just are busing. I don't think we fly once, so we're just going to be busing. We think we're taking 2 buses, and they have like assigned seating charts for us and like a bunch of protocols like that. So we'll have 2 buses, which will actually be pretty nice. So it should be pretty comfortable. I think we're just going to like Iowa and Grand Rapids, and maybe we go to Cleveland. I think
maybe Cleveland. Yeah. It's I can't imagine, and we keep talking about this with everybody, but I can't imagine you've ever had to deal with anything like this as a hockey player.
Oh, I mean, no, definitely not. I mean, it's an interesting season for sure, but obviously just glad to be playing, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of fans are too, and I just to be able to watch. Has it been strange? It's a little different because there's a new affiliation in Chicago, but has it been strange to play because darn well that the vast majority of Admirals fans are so angry that Admirals players are wearing Chicago jerseys, right? So you can imagine that would be like if you're at the University of Minnesota and you decided to wear a North Dakota or a Wisconsin jersey. I mean, that's just unheard of, right? You don't want to see that happen. No. So how strange has that been with wearing the different sweater? That being said, again, it's a new affiliation. You probably have never played against very few of these players, if any.
Right. If the affiliation would have stayed the same, then I could see it being a little bit weirder just from playing that team. However many times, 10 times we played them last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know really any of these guys, so it wasn't too weird for me. I mean, felt like I got a bunch of new teammates really, and just went from there.
Real quick, I want to close with last March when the season ends. And I think to a person, everybody in the organization, players, staff, everybody thought that we'd see you in a week or two. And next thing you know, everybody got sent home. What has it been? It's been nearly a year since we talked. What has that year? How did you keep yourself busy? Did you have access to ice? What was it all like?
Well, yeah. So obviously for like the first couple months since after the season, it was pretty much just locked down in my parents' house, just hanging out with them. I think like most of the country, whatever was doing.
Yeah.
And then I did get some ice available when Minnesota was kind of on and off like
Yes.
restrictions, as you probably know. So it was just kind of on and off when I could get ice and when I couldn't. And actually, right before I went to Florida this year, Minnesota like had shut down, like restricted all the ice, like no one could get ice. So where I live in River Falls, Wisconsin, I actually rented ice there. It's the first time I skated there in like a long time. So it was good to get back out there.
I remember, I'm going to interrupt real quick. I remember playing at River Falls when I was young, and I always thought that behind the nets, that was the most space I had ever seen.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in remembering it that way?
No, I think that's correct. Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So then when things shut down, fortunately, that's when you decided, or when everybody decided to go to Florida.
Yeah. And then I got to go to Florida. Yeah, like right when that happened. So I didn't really get I didn't really have a problem with like getting ice in the summer. So it was good. Yeah.
That's good. Well, 3 games so far, 3 points so far in the season. It's good to see you back on the ice. Stay healthy, stay well, and certainly all the best the rest of the season.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. That's Tommy Novak.